In this project, we're taking portraits back to basics using a single continuous light bulb to achieve 3 completely different looks. You can take these shots at home with a basic setup. You just need a dark background, a few light stands, a curtain pole and a few extra props. The 3 techniques that we will cover in this project are the perfect place to start with artificial lighting. We're using constant light here so that what you see is what you get, as opposed to flash guns which will only fire when the trigger is pressed. So this method makes it much easier to get started taking portraits. All of the techniques we've shot here use a one light setup. A 50mm lens is ideal for this as they're affordable and also have super wide apertures which make it easier to work with constant lighting. Our simple setups look great in black and white, so it's worth using your Canon's monochrome picture style to see your desaturated scene in real time using live view. Be sure to shoot in your Canon's RAW format though, so that you retain the colour information. Good settings to get started would be aperture priority mode with an aperture of f2 and an ISO of 800 to achieve a fast enough shutter speed for handheld shooting. For our first technique, we set up 2 budget light stands and used some duct tape to secure a curtain pole between them at the top, which we could drape over a netted curtain with a pattern we could then project onto our model's face. You could of course use a background stand if you have one, but the curtain pole method works well if you're on a tight budget. A single continuous light was set up on the other side of the netted fabric, and we closed the blackout curtains to reduce any light spill coming in from outside. It was then time to turn off any other lights in the room, and here are a few of our favourite portraits. For our next simple setup, we wanted to go for a film noir style to make it look like our model was peering through some slatted blinds. A Venetian blind was hung to our curtain pole using a few bits of picture hanging wire. Our continuous light was then set up on the other side so that we could see shafts of light coming through the slats in real time. We then experimented with the distance of the model to the blind, the distance of the lights to the blind, and also changed the angle of the slats, as these all changed the appearance of the shadows until we had it just right. Our settings remained unchanged. We just carefully directed our model into the perfect position where the shafts of light fell across her best, and also made sure to get a catch light in the eyes for an extra sparkle. Using face detection, we locked focus on our model's closest eye and fired the shutter, and here are a few of our favourites. For our final setup, we kept our light stands and dark background in place and then raided our kitchen drawers for a colander and taped this to the curtain pole. The continuous light was positioned on the other side of the colander to cast spots of light over our model's face. Using our continuous lights, we were able to choose a fast drive mode, which made it much easier to catch a series of shots and boost the chances of nailing one where the light fell exactly where it needed it to. Having a helper to hand to move the colander and sculpt the dots of light over the model's face would certainly make this setup a little easier, but here's a few shots to demonstrate what can be achieved when working on your own. So there you go, that's my 3 simple setups to get you started with portraiture and continuous lighting with a makeshift home studio. Try them out for yourselves now.